thank you all for coming out. This is a community meeting. This community meeting is strictly about our trash and garbage pickup here in the city of West Memphis. We got some new things that are happening, and it's going to take the city and the community to make sure this thing works. Because first of all, let me say this first. We all had our challenges in the sanitation department. It just didn't start 7 months ago. It's been going on, but it's reasons why that happened. But I understand there's no excuses. We have to get this city clean, but in order to do that, it's going to take more than the men and women that work for sanitation. It's going to take the community as well to get involved. You know, it won't be no excuses from me today. As mayor, this is now my responsibility, and I'm going to do everything that I can to make sure that we resolve this issue. And I think that we have came up with a plan where we can truly address the issues that we are having right now in West Memphis when it comes down to our trash pickup, garbage, and the whole 9 yards. But it's definitely going to take all of you being involved to be a part of that. Let me first introduce our elected officials that are here today. We got Councilman Pulliam, Councilman Murray, we got Councilman Willis, Councilwoman Robinson, Councilman Holt, and Councilman Mundy. We also have our city engineer and public works director, Ms. Amanda Hicks. So our sanitation superintendent, Pastor Clark, and our sanitation supervisor, Mr. AJ. So they are all here today? Yeah, really. So we want to discuss all the issues that we have going on right here in the city of West Memphis. The first thing that I want to talk about here is one of the issues that we have had in West Memphis for a long time, and you all chime in when you need to. We have been without quality trucks. And we just purchased 2 new gravel trucks that hopefully will be in within the next month, as well as we in the process of leasing a new front end loader. And let me explain to you what the gravel trucks are. Gravel trucks are the trucks that have the arm on it that goes around and pick up your trash. Those are those trucks. The front end loaders are the vehicles that go to apartment complexes or businesses or whatever and pick up the front end loader and dump it to the back. So we have been without. We are working with 20-year-old equipment. Some of it's newer, but this is what we've been working with. And I want to say thanks to the city council that they have purchased this new equipment for us, and that's really going to help our sanitation department. Now, I know the big question that everyone has been talking about is trash and garbage. Let me explain it to you all. Garbage is what you consume within your home in a garbage bag. You tie it up, you take it outside, you place it into a cart similar to that, and we come back there and get it. That is what garbage is. But trash is what you place on the side of the road, which are broken down chairs or oversized limbs or whatever has to be picking up by the gravel truck. That is what trash is. Now, garbage is what? So exactly. So if you got a kitchen bag inside your home, that's garbage. And the trash is what you places on the side of the street. Now, the biggest problem that we've been having in West Memphis, listening to your concerns and all the phone calls I have gotten, what my sanitation people get as well, the city council, they hear it as well, is that you all do not know when we ever going to pick up trash. Is that correct? All right. Now, first of all, let me ask you a question. What did they pick up your garbage on?
Well, it used to be Friday.
Okay. But it's pretty consistent? It's something, what did they pick up your garbage? Wednesday. Well, you in the apartment.
No.
No.
I don't have a clue.
Okay. Fried chicken? Tuesday? Thursday. So you all pretty much know when we pick up garbage. When they pick up your garbage? Thursday, Friday. Okay. So you all pretty familiar when they pick up the garbage, right? When do they pick up trash?
Whenever they get
ready.
Whenever they get to it. Thursday. So pretty much we know when we pick up the garbage, right? But we have no idea of when we pick up the trash. All right, so I came up with a new system to make this very simple for you all, and it really helps us. So you will know exactly when to put your trash out, and you'll know when we're coming. What's the matter? All right? We got 5 days in the week, right? We got 5 wards. Who all know that they live in Ward 1? You Ward 1. Who else in Ward 1? Ward 1, Ward 1. Those areas are represented by Tracy, Cat, and Mr. Hope. And Ward 1 would be picked up trash. Now, we're not talking about garbage. Let's get garbage. Whatever day your garbage pickup is, that continues to be the same day. That doesn't change. But for trash, on Mondays, we're going to pick up your trash. Ward 1, all the Ward 1 trash will be picked up on Monday. So you know when you pick your trash out? Sunday night. Sunday night. Okay. Guess what Tuesday is going to be? Ward 2, which is represented by Councilman Pulliam and Councilwoman Hutchinson. So those are Tuesdays. So do you all pretty much know what ward you are in? Or what all those streets contain of? Okay. So on Tuesdays, if you're in Ward 2, when you need to put your trash out? Monday night. Monday night or early? Tuesday morning. Okay, Ward 3 is represented by Councilman Willis and Councilman Kroom. So what day will you get your trash picked up on? Wednesdays. And what day you need to place it out? Tuesday night or early Wednesday morning. Same thing for Ward 4, which is represented by Councilwoman Miss Lorraine Robinson and Councilman Murray, which is Thursday. So if you live in Ward 4, you need to place your trash out on Wednesday nights. So Wednesday nights, right? Or early Thursday morning, because that's when we're going to pick up trash. And the trash have nothing to do with what? The garbage. So just say we pick up on a Thursday your trash, and your garbage day is still Monday, your day for garbage will be what? Monday. So whatever day that is, that's what we're going to do. And Ward 5 is represented by Councilwoman Miss Helen Harris and Councilman Willis Monday. Your trash will be picked up on Fridays, or you need to place your trash out at Thursday evenings or early Friday morning, and we'll pick them up. Now, the reason why we're doing it because some of the issues that we have had with trash is that we normally have 5 trucks up and running. But you know, with some of the older equipment that we have, sometimes the manpower, we may only have 2 to 3 trucks running. And that's just part of running the city or running any business that just go over the territory. So on Ward 1, all of our resources for trash is going to be in Ward 1 on Mondays. All of our resources are going to be in Ward 1 because Mondays is what day? Ward 1 day. Guess where all our resources are going to be at on Tuesdays? In Ward 2. Where all our resources are going to be in Ward on Wednesdays. And on Thursdays, Ward 4. And on Fridays, Ward 5. That's where all of our resources are going to go. So if we got all our trucks up and running, then hopefully we can knock that out real quick and start going to something else. But we will not change up on days. And the reason why I don't want to do that is because simply we get through with Ward 1 at 12 o'clock. And then we say, well, okay, well, we're going to go to Ward 2 since it's the next day, but you all don't know that. So we want to keep everything consistent. So they want to know when we pick up, what we pick up. If we don't, we'll go to something different, you know, for us doing some extra work. But your day would be Monday, Ward 1, Tuesdays, Ward 2, Wednesdays, Ward 3, Thursdays, Ward 4, and Fridays would be Ward 5. So those would be your trash days. Do everyone know if they live in those wards? Everyone know exactly what ward you live in, right? You don't know what ward you stay in? Where you live at? What's the Chatham?
In Avalon.
On Avalon?
No. You know, it's in the Avalon area. North.
North Avalon between Dover
They're in Ward 3.
and Balfour.
Wednesday.
Ward 3.
They're Ward 3.
So you know your council people over there?
Yes, sir, unfortunately.
Right, Councilman Coleman, Councilman Willis. But actually what we're talking about is trash. We're not talking about your garbage, we're talking about trash. So we actually would pick up trash on Wednesdays because you Ward 3. Tuesday would be Ward 2, Ward 1 would be Mondays, and so on. Ward 4 would be Thursdays. So that's what we're going to do. So we know what days we're going to pick up the trash without a shadow of a doubt. It's going to start the first Monday in August. Are you all ready for that?
Yes.
Huh? Yeah, the first Monday in August. Do anyone have any questions about that?
Does that mean the stuff that's sitting on a lot of the streets is gonna sit there until it starts? Or?
Well, no, actually what we're getting ready to do is just try to do a sweep to the best of our ability. But we're hoping that you all can help us spread the word. I was hoping to have a packed house here because the amount of calls that I get a day about complaining about trash, and then when we're addressing the issue, this is what we get. So we're streaming it on the Facebook, on Channel 17 as well, being recorded, and hopefully that you all can spread the word on Facebook or however you communicate. Let them know if you live on my street and your street is, just say hypothetically Monday, you know everybody on your street is Monday because you're in the same ward. So that's what we're trying to do, get the word out, because what's happening, let me give you a prime example of what's happening. Right now, no one knows when we pick up trash, correct?
Correct.
So when you throw out trash where you live at, you throw out trash where you live at, everybody throwing out trash, we only have four running trucks right now. So we can't keep running from Ward 2 to Ward 5, Ward 5 to Ward 1, Ward 3 to Ward 2. I mean, it's running us like crazy. And with the equipment that we have and the 20-year-old trucks, sometimes people call in, sometimes we have a full house. There's no way we can do it. And just say, hypothetically, I come by, just say, Councilman Pulliam's house, pick up his trash, right? Then tomorrow he throw a big load right back down to tomorrow. I can't keep coming to his home. So we got to have some type of consistency to how we're going to do it to pick up trash. So that's why we just breaking it off by Monday. And on that Monday day, I can guarantee you, because I have all my department heads here, Miss Robert, I think she came in. Miss Robert come in? Miss Robert? Pastor Clark and AJ, we're going to work to get your ward clean. If we have to start at 8 o'clock in the morning and finish at 12 o'clock midnight on Monday, we're going to get Ward 1 done. Or if it's on Ward 3, which is Wednesdays, we're going to work. If it's Ward 5 on Friday, we're going to work to get that done, because all of our resources is going to go there. That's our target goal. What we won't be doing, we won't be saying, okay, well, we're going to break off a Ward 2, your area, just to go on Ward 4. Ward 4 day is Thursday. So if you're in Ward 2 that day, that's the day that we're going to make sure that we pick up all your trash. And our supervisor is going to come through there and make sure that the job is done. Public Works Director is going to ride. And I'm going to do some riding as well to make sure that these things are done, because I think that we all want our city clean. But if anyone thinking that the city and the city council can do this on their own, we're all making a mistake right now. It's going to take all of us to be a part of making the city clean. I just really believe that now, once we set Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, and the citizens are on board with that, we have no excuses. Because the only difference that can happen, if we got 5 trucks running on Monday, that's good, but we got 3 trucks broke down still. It may take us longer, but we still in that ward. And we can get everything picked up on that Monday, which is Ward 1, Tuesday, Ward 2, so on. We can make sure that we take care of the issue. And we need you all to understand, just to make sure that what you're placing out, because hypothetically, on Tuesday, we in Ward 2, right? But then if someone in Ward 1 throw something out on Tuesday, trash, it's going to sit there Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, all the way to Monday. And then you call me and say, well, hey, trash been out here a whole week. You're absolutely right. And you miss your day. And you know, we have with the help of the council and this administration, we have got some help. They're going to help us make sure that we get this correct. And what I mean by that is, we're in the process of hiring 2 more code enforcement officers. Everyone has to play their part. I mean, if we do something wrong, I promise you, I'll take full responsibility of it. But the citizens of West Memphis, if you're doing something wrong as well, we ain't trying to ticket nobody and make no money off no one, but we need everyone to be on board with this process, because we all want a clean city.
What means of communication are we going to use to inform citizens so that everybody at least get some type of poster or some type of information?
Well, actually, what we're doing, we're creating door hangers.
Okay.
And for Ward 1, you have to back up this. When I just said Ward 1 will have their wards and all their streets. We're going to place them on all the doors, Ward 2, Ward 3, 4, 5, so on. So everyone will know what day that they will have. as well as our new website. How many of y'all that checked out www.westmemphis.com? It's going to have all that information that's on there, so you'll be able to check in that way, as well as on Channel 17, our access channel. We're going to work with the media to make sure that they broadcast this information as well. And it may take a month or two for everyone to catch on. You know, because believe it or not, I'm just honest about it. There's a lot of people just don't want to do right. There's some people just going to throw it out because they feel they can. But that don't benefit us. We as a whole, we got to be the majority of doing the right thing, because like we said, we all live here. Although I'm the mayor and these the council people, we all love West Memphis. You all love West Memphis. If you didn't, you wouldn't be here. You wouldn't live here. We all want a clean city, but it's going to take more than one individual to make this work. It's going to take everyone. And it don't matter if you call in, because you know I mess with you all the time, because we need people that's going to make sure they be vigilant on making sure our city is clean, or whatever issues that we may be going through. We need to make sure we get it right. And I think one thing that's going to really help our city, I have learned that a cleaner city is always a safer city. And it's something that we've been going through for a long time, and now it's at the point that we have to stop. There's a lot of things that we've been doing that we shouldn't have been doing. Prime example, so you go down and cut down a lone tree and chop it up and leave it on the side of the road, and you expect the city to pick it up. But that's not legal. That's not what the city's supposed to do. But the city probably have been doing it in the past. But that's not what the city of West Memphis is supposed to be doing. You know, when you cut a tree down that side, you're supposed to get a credible tree trimming company. They're going to cut it down and move it and dispose it properly. It don't supposed to be in the city.
Mayor, thank you for recognizing. I got a question about it. I just did some trimming.
Mm-hmm.
I did not cut a tree down, I'm sorry. I did not cut a tree down.
Okay.
I did some trimming, and some of those limbs were longer. They weren't tree side. Now, is this acceptable because it's not a tree, it's part of trimmings? Or does it need to be trimmed? Do I need to cut those in half? Say 10 feet, you know.
Okay.
It says 6 feet.
Or it said, I know it said 6 feet there, but some of them were hanging over into the neighbor's yard and you know, kids running, I don't want eyes poked out. I drug them out to the street, tried to stack them, you know, in a neat order. Is that acceptable, or do they need to be cut down to 6 feet?
Well, it need to be cut down to 6 feet,
Okay.
and we're gonna do everything we can to work with you. We just don't want individuals abusing it and going over. But if you cut it down to 6 feet, we'd be grateful for that.
Is there a plan for landlords throwing all of their tenants they've evicted and whatnot out? We have lots of that in our neighborhood, and it looks ridiculous.
You asked a great question. You know, actually at 10:30, the council people that's here with me, and we met with the apartment managers, the majority of the apartment managers, and we discussed these issues. You know, if you ride down Avalon, I'm not gonna call nobody apartments, and I'm definitely not talking about yours. But you can ride down Avalon right now and see a whole living room set on the main street. You can turn at that corner and go to one, and you see a whole living room. You go down here on I ain't gonna call no name, but you can see where everything is at. And we talked to them about some things in the council.
It's not just over there either. I mean,
Yeah.
one, too.
Yeah.
Down there, it's terrible.
Exactly. And what we're doing, we're gonna hopefully work with them to get some long roll-off dumpsters where they can provide for their people to throw their trash away and dispose it properly. And we're still going with our front-end loaders on the areas that we provide service for, because we know that's part of also making our city clean as well.
Or at least make sure that they know what days that their fall is coming around so that they can throw it out like the night before.
Well, actually, they're going to, right now, if they provide the dumpsters like we negotiating right now, we won't have to come around with the clock. We'll come around with the front end loader and pick up their big dumpsters, and we empty those and make sure that was clean as well. So.
Speak back on something you said a minute ago. Of course, again, in a lot of cases, like you said, the trash in the household good is different. And a lot of people are still putting garbage in bags and throwing it in the trash. Now, really, you shouldn't be doing it. And technically, it's a violation of the code anyway. So that's something you might want to talk with your friends, your neighbors, and let them know, hey, you can't constantly keep doing that. Of course, I don't know, most of you that live here in West Memphis all your life, you know what West Memphis used to be. I'm talking about that before it had grown to the place where it is now. So we invaded somebody else's home, and they still around doing what they do. And if you got trash in if you have garbage in the trash, then guess what? They're in there trying to get it. The next thing you go out the next day is all over your yard, be cars, you know. And so that's something you might want to talk to your neighbors about as well. And then again, that's something else that we're going to actually work on. And I think the plan that's being put forth before you all tonight is a good plan. And like I say, I think give us 3 or 4, 5 months, I guarantee you, you'll be proud of West Memphis. Because we're working to do it. Like I say, might have to be able to bend a few arms and whatever, but we're gonna do what we gotta do to get it clean. Because like I say, it's been proven, if you have a clean city, then your crime rate is somewhat, you have a reduction in crime rate. So we're working towards that.
So, is there any more questions about the trash pickup? So we got a few more other plans that we're gonna discuss.
I might have missed this, but, were we still required to put them in clear, or can they be?
No, well, that's garbage, but we're gonna get to that one. Yeah, you ain't missed that one.
So, the landlords that do evict people, put them out and put the stuff out that is not under there, will they be fined?
Well, I mean, in the ordinance, we got a warning process first, then second will it be a fine. But hopefully, with the conversation that we had, that all of the apartment managers are going to be on board because they all agree.
Because I live in a house, and my street is really bad for that, with people being evicted. And they just throw couches and mattresses, just throw them out everywhere.
Well, we still gonna pick that up due to the fact that it's part of, it's not a duplex or a fourplex. We still gonna take care of that. As long as it's not building materials, it's construction material. Yeah.
It's just furniture, like across the street from me, they threw furniture out 3 weeks ago.
Yeah.
First time they put out, it was still sitting there.
Any other?
For clarity, excuse me, Mayor,
Okay.
that an individual who discards or buy new furniture, discards old furniture in front of will the city pick it up?
If it's in front of their residence, yes, ma'am.
On their date.
Yeah, on their date. So don't go by none Friday. Don't go by none Saturday, and then you know that you're in Ward 5 and you don't get picked up the next Friday. Just kind of move it out the way.
Well, a whole household.
Yeah. Yeah. So let me ask you this, because I just don't want to just talk to my last question on this plan before I go to the next one. Do you all think that works? To have some consistency of knowing when we pick up trash. And I think that has been the biggest problem, that no one really knowing when we pick up the trash. So everyone would know what day we pick up the trash. So, any other questions about that? If you just, all right. Council,
Excuse
did
me,
you all
Mayor-
have?
Mayor McClendon, will you please address the issue of limbs and leaves? There are times when we ride up and down our streets and we see just a mega bunch of limbs and leaves that maybe contractors have cut down. Will you please address that, please?
What, Amanda? Explain that in the ordinance. 'Cause,
The ordinance reads that if you have any contractor or someone other than the resident cut down a large tree that, thank you, or doing work on your property, the city will not pick up after the commercial service is finished. So if someone's cut down a whole tree, for instance, most tree trimmers, landscapers have business licenses, which they understand that it is against the city ordinance now that they will have to haul off their debris to the landfill on their own.
Say, for example, if you just get a buddy or a neighbor or something who may not really be in that profession, but have the equipment to cut down a tree or a lot of leaves and limbs, and they do it like on the weekend and just leave it there, more than a grapple full, how do we address that? Do we charge that owner, the landowner for that, or how do we address
Well,
it?
the goal honestly would be to send the code enforcement officer by there, because if someone cuts down the tree and they're licensed or unlicensed, they need to move it. They can't leave it for us. They would have to dispose of it.
So if you're getting someone, a buddy or a neighbor or someone who just knows how to do that, to cut a lot of debris down, a lot of tree, basically a big tree. For example, on Macaulay, and I think that was North 17th or 18th Street, someone had cut a big tree down.
Yeah.
The stumps were just so huge. The city went ahead and picked that up, but going forward, we
Yeah.
most certainly will not do that.
Exactly.
And if you want, I mean, can we charge the citizens for picking it up? Or is it really too large for our trucks to handle when you've got such big roots like that, big stumps?
Well, I'm gonna say no. Once the ordinance that the council passed, approved,
It abolishes the
Yeah.
previous ordinances
abolishes
that,
all of that.
where we charge the citizens. The ordinance does address, an area, actually, it can be 10 feet long, 6 feet wide by 3 feet in height. And then it also addresses the dimensions of the tree limbs. So they can be up to 10 inches in diameters, up to 6 feet long. And the reason for that is how the grappler truck can actually get around it and not break the hydraulic hoses and also not injure the operator of the vehicle.
Right. I wanted to bring that point out because we do have a lot of that going on in the city of West Memphis. But since we're talking about Operation Cleanup, this will be no more. I knew those rules and regulations, but I was saying it for the benefit of our listening audience as well as the people who are sitting here on today. So if you have someone to cut your tree or trees down, just let them know they're gonna have to haul them off some kind of way or the other, because the city will not be doing and not even charging you to come out and pick it up. And that includes me as well, because one thing I want our citizens to know, they feel just because we are city council members that the same rules do not apply to us. The same thing applies to us. If I were to get someone to come, my brothers or whomever, to cut a big tree down off of my property, then I would be as responsible for getting it hauled off just as you would be. Just like you are tax-paying citizens, I'm the same tax-paying citizen. Everything that's applicable to you applies to us as well. I just want you all to know that we are not exempted. And of course, you must be the examples.
I guess my question is, once a year, I trim back the small limbs on my trees in my front yard that flower all summer. I do it once a year in the fall. Now, do I need to haul those off?
I don't think that meet the 10
I mean,
foot.
they're all small,
Yeah,
but they're flowering trees.
and we can get it with one grab.
Okay. Well,
Are you talking about something like a crepe myrtle or something like that, or?
'Cause I cut them back every year.
Yeah.
Right,
I mean, it's a 1 year thing, in the fall. And that way they stay shaped up pretty all year.
I think Miss Amanda outlined the dimensions of however much you could put out there. If it's like your crepe myrtle, that you're pruning back in the fall so they can bloom really beautifully during the spring and summertime, I think we'll be able to pick something
Yeah.
like that up if it's that grapple tool, is that right, Ms. Hicks?
Yes, ma'am, that's correct. This is mainly going down for cutting a whole tree down,
Right.
taking up the whole curbside, basically. Something that's obviously been professionally done, whether, think of half of a truckload, half of a grappler truckload. So I'm sure your blooming tree's not that out of control, especially if you prune it back every year. So, reasonable, circumstances.
Councilman?
I'm in the process of having 4 trees cut out at my house. It should start Monday. To cut the trees down, haul them off, and grind the stump is $2,500 a tree. So rather than put them on the curb and do damage to the beauty of the city that we're trying to pull back together, I'm more than happy to be able to do that, because I don't want to see the truck have to come over. I don't think you can pick these big trees up anyway. So yes, we pay our way too.
Absolutely.
Good.
Well, of course, talking about the pen, I had to pay $2,100 to have 2 trees cut in my mama's yard, so think about it, I know how it feels. But at the same time, I think down the road, once we get this ordinance put into effect, and when the spring time start coming up, we can come up and make some concession. I'm just saying for that once a year cleanup, which most people do, but at the same time, we still have to spell out what to put in it. And I think that way we have an opportunity to kind of help the citizen in West Memphis, because especially like when Ms. Robinson do the Keep West Memphis Beautiful. At that time, we can come up with something where we get a chance where let everybody know like 3 or 4 weeks ahead of time what we're gonna do, and come around just that one time and kind of clean up. And I think that would help out a lot as well.
Vice Chairman?
I got 2 questions, Mayor.
Okay.
Excuse me. When you when you're a do-it-yourselfer and you do something around the house, can you put that on the side of the street?
If it meets,
You know, small, it's.
yeah, as long as it's not over the dimensions that's in the ordinance. And I mean, and I think what our ordinance is talking about, we're talking about things that fill up, you know, there's certain trees around here, you can fill up the whole truck and it goes over that side. But just say you got a little limb that you cut and chop down, it's 2-3 pieces down, yeah, we're gonna pick that up because it all fits in one grab.
No, I'm talking about like, well, Mary, I was talking about like home repair type stuff.
Construction,
Talking about
Place of
construction,
sheetrock.
well, no, we don't pick up,
Pick that
None of that
construction.
kind of stuff on the side of the road?
no.
No.
No. Well, you know.
We
other
never
than
have,
trees-
supposedly.
Other than trees and furniture, you know, doors and all that could be, you know, that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Doors, piece of the wall, you know, piece of 2x4. I mean, other than that, you just telling me you're just gonna pick up furniture and trees. Because the other stuff is the other stuff that go on the side of the road.
And we will pick up
A swimming
other
pool
things.
and-
But we'll pick up other things, but the problem that we had with that
Too
was
much.
we had too many landlords that were going in and cleaning our houses. They'd tell us, get out of the whole house,
Yeah,
our
I know.
sheetrock and everything.
Yeah.
But it's somewhat reasonable within that grab, yes.
Okay. The other question I had was, when you start finding people for, you know, abusing the ordinance, do people have a place to come back where they make legitimate complaints,
Well-
pushback, or, you know,
Well, let me answer that question. Sure, the city council right here is the legislation. They make the laws. But that part of it is truly really addressing apartment complexes, people who have rental properties and different things like that. We're not having that issue out of pretty much residential, where we do have some, but that's not a large problem that we have. Those things can be worked out.
you know, like, excuse me, but a lot of times, you know, that's the major question is, the person is, you know, I guess you could say they could do that, responding in court or wherever they may have to do it. I mean, you know what I'm saying, response to, like, you know, a person come by and say, well, I put this out here on Monday, and the guy came by and, ticketed me for it being, you know, what do they think they complain? Usually it's to the department or to the mayor, or they probably have to just answer in court if they get a ticket. Yeah. The other thing is the day. Now, you said we know our day is Monday. Usually you would want people to put it out the day before, but usually people put it out, you know, as they do the work.
I would love for you to pick it up. Well, yeah, and that's one of the things. In order to clean the city, we're gonna have to make provisions where you all just may have to leave it on the side of your home until your day coming up or the night before your day. Because like I said, if you getting picked up on Friday in Ward 5, but you're gonna go cut down some or move a whole house load of furniture out, you can't put it out there on Monday, because when the citizens ride up and down there, they'll be like, what's going on? Because actually riding through West Memphis, I actually have seen people have couches sitting in the front yard like it's the norm. But you all who are buying home, all of you that are buying home, you want to keep that property value up, right? You don't want old cars sitting on your grass, destroying your grass, all type of furniture in the yard. We want to be a pride within our city. We want to make our community look good. And that's why we're going to have to just kind of be mindful of how we does that. So,
Okay, one of the things that I was thinking about, in the event of a storm, we know this happens in West Memphis.
oh, yeah.
And you have a lot of people that can't afford $2,500. This is a poverty-stricken area. And the demographics down on the lower end, on the south side, has numerous trees down there. They can't afford it.
I can answer that real quick for you. When there's a major storm like that, we go get them anyway. We get help from the county, they come in and help us. So in an event like that, that's already covered, so, yeah. Any other questions on that? Ms. Hull, was that all? Yeah, another? Okay. Well, I guess I can move on to the second thing. Right here in West Memphis, one of the big problems that we have with cleaning is tires. How many people ride up and down the street and they see tires on their street? And we don't pick up tires. So this is what we're gonna do. Due to the EAPPD, correctly, and the county, we have worked out where we are taking some tires. Now let me explain it to you. We're gonna do a Tire Blitz, which is gonna be Saturday, August the 10th. It's gonna be from 8 a.m. to 12 o'clock in the morning. And every individual can bring up to 4 tires and drop them off, and we're gonna take them to the counter. We already worked out and negotiated that with Judge Wheelers, and they're gonna take the tires. So if you have any tires in your community or something in the back or whatever, go ahead and get rid of them now. Now, it's not for business. This is for residential homes. Bring them, so that'll be your one-time opportunity where you can get rid of all the tires that you need to in the city, up to 4. Now, you can't bring in 10 tires now. You can just bring up to 4, which is what carries on the car.
Mr. Mayor, will it be addressed sometime? My company has property on East Broadway, Old Service Merchandise Building, Flash Market, that's our warehouse behind the gas station.
Okay.
We have, not to call any names in, but there are some local businesses and maybe some residents also that have probably dumped close to 75 tires
Right.
on our property.
Right.
Now, is that our company's responsibility? All of our tires are disposed of at our local automotive dealerships.
Do you have a business that deal with tires as well?
No, sir.
Okay.
Flash Market, we're just, the convenience stores and the gas stations.
Okay, well, right now, if it's on your property, we definitely got to get the police department involved, and they are gonna be helping us to make sure we clean the city. It's hard for me to say that, we can say, this individual done it, because we don't have the evidence or anything on tape to prove it. But if it's on your property, you will be accountable. Well, this blitz is to help us get rid of it. I mean, I can name a bunch of areas that are out of compliance, and I know a lot of areas that were things have been dumped that we're trying to address right now. But it's gonna take some time for us to get that resolved. But for the individuals that does have the tires, to get them over to us August the 10th, and we can dispose of those. Well, we definitely gonna have to probably get the police department more involved in your area and looking to see where these tires coming from. And I understand we very familiar with this problem happening. We know some places that are illegally dumping tires, but we don't pick up tires, but we do have to address it because once again, in order to clean West Memphis, we got to get rid of the tires.
Thank you.
Everyone know that date? What day is it gonna be?
Oh, that was out.
Yeah, for the tires, strictly for the tires.
August 18th.
August 10th, Saturday, August the 10th, from what time? 8 to 12, 8 to 12 now. So if you got the tires, we definitely need to make sure we work to get rid of the tires. Because like I said, the tires are environmental, unsafe, they hold mosquitoes in the summertime. Even we've seen some snakes in those tires. So definitely we need to do what we can to make sure we clean our city and get rid of those hazards.
Excuse me, Mayor McClendon. Now, it's going to be Saturday, give us that date again, August?
August 10th, Saturday, August 10th.
From 8 until 12,
Correct.
did you say where we're going to deliver those tires? The city's not going to come around and pick them up, is that right?
No,
We have
we're
to
not
take
gonna pick them up, they need to be brought to the city shop.
Okay, I didn't hear you say that, that's what I was
Yeah.
trying to get
They need to be
clarity
brought to
on
the
it.
city shop and then.
And there will be someone there monitoring to make
Yeah,
sure
we
that
have
there are only
someone
4
there.
tires coming per person.
And Judge Willis is gonna have us, working to have us 2 empty trailers, so once we collect them all, we can go and dispose, well, not dispose, but transfer them out there, and they can be taken away.
So I guess the gentleman with the 75 tires, he's gonna have to divide that times 4 and get some people. To take all of those to the
I
city
will be
shop.
calling upon both of my city council.
That's right, you better get you some people to get 4 tires to take away.
Well, they can take 8.
I mean, that's a wonderful idea.
But I'm gonna show you something though, honestly, for real. I will make contact with Judge Wheelers and see, it probably after this day, but when do we have an empty trailer available? And because we don't normally pick up tires. And if he say you have an empty trailer available, I may ask him and see if you can get them to him where he take those tires. And you know, Judge Wheeler has done everything he can to work with us on this program, so that may be a way. You know, they say closed mouth don't get fed, so as long as you speak it, it may happen and get rid of them. You commit to moving them, I'm sure he'll do what he can to take them. So that can resolve that issue. I know the big thing, we're gonna get to that, that's those over there, so give me a second. We're gonna get to that. How many of you all know that we do recycling? How many of you all are into recycling, plastics and e-waste? We have 2 dumpsters right on the side of City Hall. That's free. You can use them anytime you want to, as long as you bring it down. Plastics and e-waste. Is there anything else that we carry in those dumpsters?
Yeah, the e-waste, sorry, I apologize. Put it off for just a second. We do the e-waste. I have Rhonda handling most of it. We actually have containers here in the lobby. We handle plastics, we handle, aluminum cans. Yeah, the aluminum cans. There's various things that we don't do, like paint cans, things of that nature. But for the most part, everything that can be recycled is up next to the containers. And we do have an e-waste. So any type of printer, anything of that nature goes in that direct trailer. Computers, things.
So if you're into recycling, that's a good thing to be in, you know. You got a lot of milk cartons, water jugs, whatever. Bring them down, you know. The recycling, it'd be good. It's a good look for our city. And it opens up much opportunity as well. And they're right here on the side of City Hall. And like I said, you have some bags out there. And if you do the bags, you can sell them on the side of your garbage. So we'll take them. So we need to look more into that.
Question.
Go ahead.
How much of those recycled containers, because I was thinking, that's a good idea, but you only got them located in one area. And if people are too lazy to take tires and do other stuff, I don't see them bringing their recycled stuff all the way up here if they live way on the east side of town or way over. If you had them in maybe more than one location, maybe that might help a little bit. I know it's not gonna solve the problem, but maybe it may help.
Well, let me show you, and I'll give it to council report. Let me give you a yin and yang approach about that. We get a lot of people that bring their recyclables out. There's a lot of people does that, you know. And then the ones that don't want to bring it, to be honest with you, if it's in their backyard, they probably use it, you know. Or I wish they would, you know, because at one time, just a couple of weeks ago, the council placed big dumpsters out, and we still had a lot of problem with people placing all type of trash out instead of just loading it up and going right down the street, because we had one in every ward. So, but if we can encourage them to get that, to use more though, we probably could expand it later when we see it being efficient.
Yeah, that's what I was getting ready to say. And the reason it was moved to the location where it's sitting now is because, again, I mean, they did it out there on the grounds of City Hall as well. They kept putting stuff around until we started putting something up that we could kind of watch it. So that's the kind of thing that you have to be on the lookout for as well. So, I mean, they'll just come in, some people will, they just set it out there. I think one time, Rhonda, they was pretty much putting everything in there at one time, right?
It's been fairly good, but the main reason that we put it where we put it is so that we can watch it on a daily basis here at City Hall. It's just I know it's not a central location, but it is a location that's wide open, so it's not easy to just come and dump a lot of trash in there. We empty it as often as we need to. If it gets full, we empty it. Right now, we empty it twice a week. But the trailers were provided to us. It's not something that the city, East Arkansas Planning and Development runs the program. We just have to take the recycling to the facility. So all of the equipment and all of that came from them. We built the steps. We just have to run the recycle back and forth to the facility.
In my household, recycling cuts my garbage in half.
I can see that because in most garbage cans is plastic or some form of recyclable material. If we did a little bit more of that, it would be less garbage we would have to dispose. So, any more questions on that? Go ahead.
Did you say that you all had bags that we could give from the city?
Yeah, we got some.
Oh, yes, ma'am, we have tons of bags, so feel free to take more than one. They're in the lobby right out here on your right, as soon as you go out. They stand up on their own. Some people get 5 or 6. We have plenty.
How do we?
No, ma'am, if you want to recycle, you will have to bring it up to
Yeah.
the trailers, yes, ma'am. It's got a handy little, handle on the bottom of the bag. So you just kinda dump it over in there and just shake the bottom. And they're reusable, you can wipe them out, but
So I know we had a lot of conversation right now, and the first thing is on your trash. Everyone know they trash day, right? If you live in Ward 4, what day?
Thursday.
Huh? Thursday. If you live in Ward 1, what day is it?
Monday.
Ward 2, Ward 3, and Ward 5. So everybody know that's the day that we pick up trash, and starting August 1st. Number 2, you know when we're gonna do this at Tire Blitz, we're gonna get as many tires as we can out the street. And you can bring up to how many? What day?
Unless you're Bob.
Yeah.
I heard that, I heard it, it's recorded. He said
He
it.
gonna come get you. And we're gonna do it from 8 to 12. The last part of this program is in order to clean our city, something that the council, we have all sat down and talked about. We talked a lot about this. It's going to curbside garbage. How many of y'all have heard about these garbage cans right here? All right. We are one of the few cities in the country that still does backyard service. And I know that it's very easy for everyone to say, well, I don't want to worry about it. Let them come to my backyard and pick up my trash, my garbage, and make sure it's garbage. But as we move into the future as West Memphis, we're gonna have to start to, it may inconvenience us just a little bit, but we gotta start doing something different to make sure it's efficient. I'd rather have something efficient than continue to keep the old way and it's being ineffective. So, well, right now what the city did, the city is part of that $1.25 increase that we did on garbage, which was mainly going toward operating costs, as well as the repairing, buying new vehicles. It's going to buy 6,500 of these new cars right here. And what we are going to do is make sure that every citizen in the city of West Memphis that has a residential home have one of these cars. And whatever your garbage day, what day your garbage day on? What day your garbage day? Your garbage day. No, garbage day. Thursday. This is what you're gonna have. Now, what we have to understand, and this has been a big issue is on curbside, is if it's on the side of your house, the city of West Memphis has spoiled everybody because this is what we do. We come back there and we get it. And what we asking people to do is to start getting acclimated with just if you know your day is gonna be on Thursday, Monday, Wednesday for it's garbage, make sure it's filled and just bring it to the side of the street. It's more efficient for us as well as it helps our sanitation department. And then the only thing you got to do this is a cart, right? Let me show you how light it is when it's empty. I'm doing this with one finger. It rolls on its own. So it don't take nothing to move it to the front and back to the back. This is gonna help our city. It's gonna make it more uniform because we have many people in our city that doesn't have anything out there. Nothing. When I mean nothing, I mean nothing. Go ahead, man.
What if you're gonna provide us one?
Mm-hmm.
What if we have other rolling containers that we already own? Will you take?
As long as it fit,
Is it been
our
set?
flipper.
If there's 2 or 3 out there, you'll empty all 2 or 3?
Yeah, we're gonna take care of them. As long as it works on our flipper, where it can be
It
flipped.
has to be white, it has
It
to
has
fit
to have
that.
that number on it?
No,
Not
the
the
flipper.
number, it's-
This is part because our trucks, even our rear end loaders have the flipper on it, where we can place it on there and then it picks it up and it empties it.
It can't just be a commercial can from like Walmart. It'll have to be designed exactly the way that one is, so the flipper can flip it over.
And a lot of them are pretty much that way. So you're gonna have to
Right.
really get one that was from Mars that don't pretty much fit the standard way.
can we put our address on them so they do not get stolen?
That's a great.
We have
Let me tell you something. I'm gonna say these few questions. Whether or not you're disabled or handicapped, we're gonna get to that. We're gonna answer that. If they get stolen, we're gonna answer. I'm gonna go through all those. Cause I know those been questions that have already been asked to me. I'm gonna make sure we address it. But the main thing right now is getting everyone on board to make sure all of your garbage bags, which it could be a black bag, whatever, we changed that so it doesn't have to be a clear bag. I know that was talked about a lot, so that's out the door. Just a bag that's plastic and tied up, and all your contents are in there. So when the men and women come there, they can get it and take it and it can be safe. And these is what everyone's gonna be provided with, and what we're doing, it takes 3 months for these to get here. So you won't get them until the first of the year. So this is not a next month or a next week thing. This will be probably January 1st, January 15th, where everyone will have these cars at their property. Now, let's go to the first question you said about anyone stealing them. What these cars contain is a chip reader. It has a chip reader in there. And what the city council has been so gracious to do, they have funded us with a system called Rubicon, which is $140,000 system that makes sure that it tracks every one of these cans. Now I'm hoping that someone won't steal one when everyone on the street got the same can. But you know, you got someone that may say, hey, I like this and I live in Earl. Or you know, no problem against my Earl friend. I'm just using that as an example. Or I live in Marion or whatever in Memphis and let me take it. But actually it will contain a chip. And that chip also helps us because, for instance, when that truck is riding by your area, it eliminates, it takes off the radar that we picked up that trash. So it won't be no situation where they didn't get my trash today. Hold on, let me pull up the system. Did we pick it up? Yes, we did, because it matched with the program in the truck, and it showed that it was picked up. So that would eliminate any complaint that says that we didn't pick up your trash today. So we will get it. I know that won't 100% solve the problem of it being stolen. We're hoping that no one will steal them. We're praying to that. We're going to have some extra dumpsters, extra carts. We're not just wanting to give them out, but hopefully we'll have a few extra ones as well. But doing it that way, that will help to make it more safe, to let them know that they will be tracked. So we go on
For the price of what now? The extra one. You want extra.
$85. But that's still pretty much cheap. But one thing this will do, if this car was stolen out of Shady Grove, I'm just using as an example, and it's found on Colonia, when that truck go by there, that truck gonna say, well, this car right here really belongs in Shady Grove Street. How I get on Colonia? Then you know what I'm saying? Colonia folk are gonna come out and say, well, Pastor, where you get this new one? You got twins, you know? So, you know, that help us to resolve it that way. Now, will it stop everything? No, it will not. Second question that has been asked is that what are we going to do to address for senior citizens and those that may be disabled? One thing that we thought about was creating some decals and placing them in the window. But the question that came up then, okay, well, are we making our senior citizens targets? Because someone ride by and said, well, they got the decal, but that means that most likely someone disabled or handicapped or in need, special needs or whatever in their home. So we didn't want to make them a target. So what we did now was, Amanda, it's your shine.
We use the Rubicon system to identify. So when the vehicle pulls up to certain residences where you might have a handicapped or elderly citizen there, it'll alert the garbage men that they need to take their time and go to the backyard and get the can.
Hold on, we do that by, if you got the handicap sticker on your car, that's one way, so we can.
Right, we've looked at other ways, other cities have done it, and also through the postal service, there's people who are handicapped or elderly that have to have their mail delivered to them in a special way.
And then if not, you can just fill out a form here, and we can make sure we have that registered within the system to make sure that individual is taken care of. So if you just say if you are disabled and you don't get mail, you're disabled and you don't drive, so you ain't got no sticker on your car, handicap sticker, your family member just can make sure they fill out a form here, and we'll get you within the system and get you taken care of. So we'll make sure we take care of it, because right now we're doing curbside, we're doing backyard pickup anyway. So picking up our greatest generation and helping them, it wouldn't be no problem to make that happen. Ms. Pat, you have a question? Ms. Pat, you have a question?
You answered it because I was about to ask you in the case where they don't have all that.
Yeah.
The handicap sticker on their car or anything.
Okay.
But the other thing I wanted to need to partner up with the, East Arkansas Area Agency, because most of them on the food program, and maybe get them to give them the applications out, because I know they probably get people to come up here and pick them up. But if they're with their food service program, and also Senior Alliance, I think her name, she's a geriatrics doctor, Dr. Figures.
Okay. We'll definitely be open to any program that addresses those needs, you know, because it may be a situation where an individual is living on their own, but may be physically disabled, but not be a senior, and their families can go through that. They can fill it out here or go through a similar program. We'll be willing to work with anyone. I mean, we know this program is not going to be an overnight program as well, but we're going to have to phase it in and get it in where people can get acclimated with it. So whatever we need to do to make sure that none of our citizens are overlooked that need this assistance, we'll make sure that happens.
Well, we know not all streets in the city have curbs. Some of them have ditches in their front yards right next to the pavement. Where do those citizens put the cans? They put them in the street?
Well, right now they're on the side of the road. Let me ask you, where are they at now?
Well, I'm just asking a question. I mean, I have curbs,
Yeah.
gutters, and all that good stuff, so that's not my issue.
What I'm saying, most citizens have their garbage is already on the side of their house or in the back of their house.
So, I mean, you know, if they're gonna put it on the driveway, on the street, because like I said, my grandparents used to live, you know, over on 18th Street. They had a ditch in the front yard. So if you didn't put it in the driveway, which was a single drive, then you either had the street or in the bottom of the ditch.
Okay. Well,
And a lot of the city's still in the same shape as it was back 30 years ago.
And like I said, we working through some of the kinks. As long as they make it visible, there may be something we may can consider as well. Because right now we don't have the one-armed bandit, so,
Yeah.
you know, until we had that, that's the only way that would have made a difference. But if they brought it to where it's visible, we still can get it.
Well, I just trying to make sure that everybody, you know, is gonna get the
Sure.
same type service. And,
Yeah.
you know, it wouldn't be fair for some people to have to jump through hoops to put their garbage out on whatever day they come. Then it would be for some just to drag it right down the side of the driveway and put it on the curb.
The main thing, as long as they get it close, as long as they get it close to the street, they'll get it.
Yeah.
That's the main thing, bring it out close to where they can get it.
Yeah.
And once we actually implement this, and I mean, if it comes to we're actually doing the curbside, the ordinance will outline all these issues. We've already discussed all this in prior sessions before. There's areas like South Ninth, South 10th that weren't designed for curb and gutter services, and it's something that'll be on a special route. Like I said, the Rubicon system, it geo-locates the vehicle and also geolocates those cans. So what it does is it tells it, you know, that's a special location. So it routes it for the driver, for the garbage people who pick it up.
And I guess the only thing I would like to say about that, I know a lot of times it's just habit for people to take their cans out and not take them back. But the old ordinance that I sponsored some years ago says that when we had a pilot program of the same nature, and it is still in effect, if you bring your can out by 7 or 7:30 that afternoon, that evening, you should have it back by your house, behind your house. Don't leave it sitting out. You don't want a uniform street full of garbage cans lined all up and down the street. So please take it back. Don't leave it out on the side of the road. Because that's an issue we have now with a lot of people. They just leave it out there. And I've asked some residents, why do you leave it? And some of the answers are just so strange. Well, sometimes the kids are outside playing and they need somewhere to put their candy wrappers and things of that nature. Well, I most certainly, if I had a small child, I would not want them to open up anybody's nasty garbage can and put their candy wrappers in there. So please just be mindful of that and take it back behind your house by 7 or 7:30 that afternoon.
Anyone have any more questions about the dumpsters?
If it is, I assume that if it's not in the can, it will not be picked up on trash day, once those cans go into
Garbage
play.
day.
Is that correct?
Yes. What we hoping, these are 96 gallons cans, and if you got more trash that can go in these things, you know. But you know, we also have to be sensible about that. I'm gonna ask my department heads, if we got a dumpster filled this big and you got one bag on the side, be mindful. Just don't leave it because we're not supposed to. Because the effort for this meeting and everything that we're doing is to clean the city. Not get to a point where rules is gonna dictate everything that we're doing. We wanna make sure our city clean, but we gotta place things in place where we can do that. So if there's a garbage, one bag on the side of it, please get the bag. Just don't leave it there, you know. And go from there. Any other questions?
I was gonna speak on that. Put all my trash in, it ain't got to be big garbage bag, I put it in a big star bag, but they go in a big bag, and leave the little ones in the bottom. Why is that?
Well, this right here is gonna have the flipper on it. Well, they use the flipper, what I mean by the flipper is, the flipper pick it up,
And just dump everything out.
and everything in there goes out. Any other questions on that? I'll tell you all about one more other thing that we're doing, but what can you all help us do to make West Memphis better? Because you all elected us, and we work for the people of West Memphis, you all. So I'm asking you all, because I get so many calls about trash and garbage in the city. And we left with the task to try to come up with a way to fix this. But we servants for you guys. So I'm asking you all for help. How do we clean West Memphis?
Do what you asked us to do.
Is this plan sufficient enough to make this happen? Because I'm going to guarantee we're going to do what we're supposed to do now. But it's some things that it's going to take the citizens to make sure that they do and make sure that this happens.
If not, we come back here and meet again.
I think if you inform them with your hangers when trash day is,
Yeah.
I think that's the thing, because, I mean, I was watching this on the way up here so I could get everything, you know, on, but there's a lot of people who may not have internet, or they don't get the paper anymore, or things of that nature.
Yeah.
So if you put the hanger out there, then there's not an excuse.
Well,
It's- or you put it in their utility bill, whatever, there's not an excuse, everybody has it.
Yeah.
But, you know, if you're just relying on someone to watch your live video
Yeah.
or see it on Facebook, not everybody, you know, has access to that. But I think with the hangers or putting it in their utility bill, they don't have an excuse, because they gotta pay that utility bill, they gotta open it up, they see it.
And you know, so that's a good question, a good idea, because so one of the council people, was that you, Councilman Willis, talked about placing it within inside the light bill, as well as we're gonna do door hangers. Actually, I'm right now working to get a meeting together with all the ministers to see can they spread this word over the pulpits. Now, I'm gonna be out in the community knocking on doors. We're gonna be doing community meetings in every council person ward to make sure we spread this word, because we didn't get in this situation overnight or in 7 months ago. We got in this many years ago, and now what we're doing now, we just taking responsibility and accountability on trying to get this rectified for us.
Partnering with, the different health departments that we have. And, leaving the literature with them so people be able to fill it out, or either let them know the changes are coming. A lot of information, when you go to your local, stores, your, big store, both sides. Make sure you got big placards on the window, they'll pay attention to it.
We'll definitely make sure we get all them communication director, getting all them ideas down.
Mayor, let me ask you something. When you pay your utility bill, you're not guaranteeing weekly pickup though, are you? It just says regular, right?
Well, we're gonna pick up every week. If your day Tuesday, we're gonna pick up Tuesday. That's for garbage, and if your trash day is Monday, we're gonna make sure we live up to that day as well.
I'm just saying there's no, I mean, this is I pretty much know it's a general guideline so that the city won't get in trouble. You just say regular. You don't say it weekly. I mean, if you want to be particular, you say weekly, but you don't. You just say regular.
Let me give it to the attorney tomorrow.
I
answer that tomorrow.
I would say that too. I would just say regular because the person come back and say, they didn't pick it up this week. Well, we're gonna pick it up. and when we pick it up, it's gonna be regular, you still gonna pay your utility bill.
You absolutely right. But let me give him the model to answer that.
Oh, okay, but all I'm saying to that nature is, so if I don't get picked up this week, and I call making a complaint, pretty much, it's still gonna be, you're gonna set a different time, say, well, they didn't pick it up this time, you know, I mean, first you gotta understand that if you didn't pick it up this time, and if they missed it, that the next occasion, maybe you may not be able to send a truck out.
Well, you know
right at
something,
that time, you know.
Pastor Chipman, to be honest with you though, I'm tired of making excuses on our end. I want to make sure this trash get picked up, so we're gonna pick it up on Tuesdays and whatever your day is. I'm enforcing that we make sure we live up to that. And if something happen, thank you. If something happen, catastrophic, a storm happen, then we know that it may be some delays. Or if a holiday happen in the middle of the week, but I mean, what we said we're gonna do, and you all paying y'all tax dollars, we need to do what we said we're gonna do.
Well, the other part of that question is this is what some people will come back to, just say their representatives with is this gonna be a big job reduction as far as sanitation workers go? I mean, that's the kind of feedback that, you know, some people will come to, just say to me or to somebody else to say, well, that's just so that they can get rid of some of us. I'm talking some of the sanitation workers or that nature.
I might get rid of them, what you mean?
But not having employment, you know, if you be more efficient, you may need less.
We growing.
Yeah.
And we
That's what I was getting ready to say.
No, I'm saying the question get asked.
Okay, but check. Here's the thing with this, actually, West Memphis, once we start getting a lot of things done, I'm talking about get curbside moving, we'll be able to do other things.
Right.
But here's the thing with a lot of people not understanding. I mean, West Memphis, it's not the same West Memphis it was 15, 25, 30 years ago. Actually, we're growing. A lot of people say we're not, but we're growing. I mean, it's just like we got new apartments in this city that a lot of people not even thinking that we have. And then if you take a look at it, you go back to the Ridge has been in more apartments. Matter of fact, they've been in three-story apartments back there. Okay, you got some coming up on Avalon, and see, the thing of it is, over the course of years, we have like the Meadows. The Meadows are new apartments, the senior apartments back here. They just opened up 86 units that nobody really just paid any attention to. But at the same time, we're working with the same workforce that we've been working for the last 25, 30 years. So that tells you there that there's a lot of things that need to be done. I don't see anybody going anywhere. So what we're doing at this time, actually is going to help us in the long run. And I don't think anybody's going anywhere because we don't need it. And the thing of it is, once we get our trucks and things operational, we'll be able to keep up the pace. That's one of the reasons why we can't keep it up at this time. Once we get everything operational and the plan that is rolling out to everyone, you'll see a big difference.
Well, that's the kind of answer that I want to be able to tell people that, you know, come say, well, y'all ain't complaining because we're going to be less of us. No. But see, that's the kind of answer I'm saying is that we need to be able to say that because you don't want to work slow down or work reduction.
And then again, another thing, even to say, well, we got Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, whatever pickup. But I mean, there might be occasion. But then again, at the same time, we're working towards to make sure that we can compensate for that as well. So I mean, this is a learning process. I mean, because like I say, everything we put in for, but I truly believe it's going to work, and it's the best thing that we rolled out in a long time.
And
Mayor
I didn't say that
McClendon.
to be problematic. The reason I asked is that if we address it out front and address that with the, you know, with the work staff up out front, you don't get a knee-jerk reaction that, well, you know, so that when they come to me and say, well, it look like somebody ought to go up there and complain, I can say, no, listen now, that was answered in the first beginning. Thank you.
Ms. Rahal,
I just want to say, is there
go
a
ahead.
citizen you need
Yes,
to
she
speak?
had
Go
a
ahead, and I'll talk later.
Is there a plan for holiday routes? Like if a holiday falls on a Monday, what's your plan? If a holiday falls on a Tuesday, is there a backup plan for that? Because that seems to be where everybody gets off and may go longer than normal getting trash pickup. It's holidays seem to be a bigger issue.
good question.
Good evening, my name is Arthur Jackson. I've been with the city since 2001. I've been in the sanitation department all those days. and I have seen good days and bad days. And your question is, we usually post it through Public Work Director, the days that we will pour garbage. Now, trash be a little different now because we're setting it up on a different scale. But, say for instance, the holiday falls on Monday, what we'll do, we'll try to pick up Tuesday and run back, and then we get caught up, we'll come back and get some of that Mondays. But it's no way that we can catch up when it's like that in the trash.
Yes, sir.
But we'll do our best. Again, for Pastor Chipman, me and Reverend Clark, we work diligently, hard to get calls when they come in. I pull calls, he pull calls. I go pull calls in my truck because I care about the city because I've been here all my life. And I feel like if I'm a citizen, I want to be treated just like you guys. So that's my motto. I treat a citizen like I want to be treated.
Right, and to Reverend Chipman, again, I will certainly respect you to the highest, Pastor Chipman. The ordinance spells out that it will be regular. In case of a natural disaster or something of that nature happens, of course, you were going to be overloaded like, when was that storm that came through some years ago? We were just so backlogged. So I think the word regular is a safer word to say than to say weekly, but we're going to do everything within our power with Reverend Jackson and Reverend Clark, Ms. Robbie, Ms. Amanda Hicks, and all of the city council members working together collectively. We're going to do everything within our power to stick with the schedule that Mayor McClendon has outlined here today, but regular is a safer word to use than weekly, because something could happen, and then you all will be holding us to that weekly, and it'd be most certainly impossible to do. Is that a better understanding?
Excuse me. The only reason I said that is because some people will come back and say, well, I paid my fee, and that gets me four garbage pickups and 4 trash pickups. And that's not necessarily, I'm just saying it for the benefit of people that want to say it that way. I didn't get picked up this week, and I'm paying for it, and you get what I'm saying?
Right,
That's my only reason.
Right, as Reverend Jackson was saying, like for a holiday or something of that nature, you may get behind a little bit a day, but they're going to do everything within their power. We have to make allowances for some things as we go along and try to get back on track as best we can. But if you have a holiday, for example, on a Monday, the trash men are not going to be working on that day. They need their time off to be with their families, loved ones, friends as well. So the citizens should most certainly, understand that just human nature will help us understand that. And once we get this system working as it should, I think we're all going to come to a happy medium. We're all going to be very pleased with the way we are getting ready to do this. I'm just worried now that I won't be able to have my Keep West Memphis Beautiful cleanups anymore. Because the city is going to be so clean, I won't have to do it anymore. But that's what we're working towards.
Also, I want to answer the young lady, she left. I'm a mayor that believes in, I don't believe a closed mouth get fed. Ms. Patty's on the quorum court right now, and one of the things that quorum court and Judge Willis has been doing is lending us an extra grapple truck and man. So when we got an extra holiday coming up, we're making plans with them to make sure we can use some of that extra drivers to come in and help us, because West Memphis inside of Clinton County too, so they represent us as well. So I'm not too big to say, Ms. Pat, I need some help.
I have another.
Go ahead, sir.
I think the main thing that we're all wanting is just consistency across the board. Everybody wants to be treated exactly the same. We're hoping that y'all are listening to us and hearing us ask for your help. I mean, it's been so inconsistent. We haven't had a clue as to when the trash is gonna be picked up. And luckily, the garbage is just been regular as your heartbeat. But, there's no consistency. There's no balance. Everybody should be the thing. We all pay our bills, we all pay our taxes, and we all plead for happiness. So if we can get the consistency back, where we know that it's going to be taken care of, if not today, then it will be the next day or real close, instead of once a month or a day or two after we call and complain. You know, that's what.
Well, I believe in accountability, and like I said, I
really
don't,
do.
I necessarily don't know
What y'all are doing, and I appreciate that.
what
I
you know,
really
what
do.
happened for us, what happened in the past. Don't even think about that. Right now, over the last 6 months, we've been analyzing, we've been having many conversations on what can we do to address this. I know we had one plan, we'll start 2 trucks on one end, 2 trucks on the next end. So there's been a lot of conversation. But after talking with the individuals who does it on a daily basis, the city council, really came up with a plan that we really feel that will work. And I take full responsibility because I want to be the mayor that you all say that clean West Memphis. And I live here, you know, and not going anywhere, buying a home here, the whole 9 yards. I want to make sure that everything is what it needs to be clean, it be safe, be prosperous. And let me tell you all, I'm not going to give you no campaign speech. I'm just going to tell you this. There's a lot of great things going on in West Memphis. There's more things going on in this city in a long time. And it's because your city council people that's here today and your mayor doing an eye job too.
You all just give us a chance. Give us a chance.
And
Give us
spread
a
the word,
chance.
spread the word.
And one quick thing, I'd like to say as well, the first Tuesday in every month, we, Public Works meet. So if there's something you have on your mind, you like to come by and express, or you just come by and sit and listen to what's going on, you know, I mean, you're more than welcome to come because it's an open meeting. And we'd love for you to come by, you know, if you got something that you think that we need to discuss, you can call Ms. Hicks and she can get it on the agenda, and maybe that's something, you know, we can discuss. I'm just saying, instead of just rolling around in your head and not letting anybody know anything back, at least it could be, you know, it could be taken care of.
Sir.
I don't want, I came in late, and I want to apologize, but I do have a couple of questions.
Sure.
If you're through with
Go
the
ahead.
presentation.
Yes.
You made comment that we're no longer going to require the see-through bags for the garbage. Is that true of yard trash as well?
That's for garbage. That part of the ordinance represented garbage. Go ahead.
We took out the clear bags, is that what you're asking?
It's out.
Yes, any color bag on the curb, but leaves and grass cuttings and things like that in them.
Any kind of, just what we've been using is fine.
Yeah.
Right, we'd prefer something lighter weight though, like the leaves and the grass cutting instead of some big box or something like that. But yes, that's correct, we took out the clear bags.
Next question. Next question. No. Hold on. No, you had another question. Go ahead.
You know, I missed the part about yard trash, and I hate that, but I'm assuming that you're continuing with that reduced amount of product you pick up, one scoop or however you characterize it. You know, we've had a windstorm yesterday, day before yesterday, and there are a number of our citizens who have tree damage. And they have cleaned that up themselves by putting it on the yard, out on the front.
We will address that. We
Any
will get
kind of
that.
consideration for that sort of thing?
Yes. We're gonna get that also. And I think some part that really scared the residents were in their ordinance when we talked about we wasn't picking certain things up. A lot of that referred to like the apartment complexes that was over 5 units. It's not so much of the residential part, but actually with the trees now, there's a certain diameter that the tree need to be. But you know, in the situation where storms happen, we still gonna do what we need to do to clean our city. That was not effective.
I just want to say, like you said, things are going forward, look like to some people's, but what really impressed me, what I seen out of you, you go out there in that white shirt you got, you're not gonna ask us to do nothing that you do.
Thank you. Appreciate that. So,
I think what we've talked about tonight, we've covered everything, and I think if you guys give us a chance, I think you're gonna see a big difference in the next couple of months. So basically, it like Mayor said, it's gonna take you guys as citizens to help us by kind of watching, and making sure that folks next door to you is doing the things they need to do. I think it's gonna take all of us. But it's gonna be a good thing going forward.
Something I thought about.
One of the things,
Are you through? Go ahead, Wilson.
one of the things I like to say, the program that the mayor and the rest of us have come up with for us picking up the days we pick up on, that's a great idea. That's gonna work for us. But we gotta communicate with the people in our wards. I'm gonna have a town hall meeting as soon as I can. I'm gonna talk to Miss Anthony and see when I can get the boys club. We're gonna have a town hall meeting and try to get people out so we can school them on what we're gonna do here, what we're trying to do here. See, a lot of them ain't not able to come out to the meetings and stuff, but, and we changed the meeting to what now? We, meet once in the evening, starting when?
The 1st of August, we do the first meeting, it's gonna be at the regular time. And then the third meeting is gonna be at 5 o'clock.
Oh, we
So
get
you
5
all
o'clock.
can come out and be a part of the council meeting.
And we changed that so we can get people out in the evening to come out and voice their opinion about things, and they can get on the agenda to talk about different things that we need to do in the city. And, it's looking good, it's looking up. I feel good, I feel good about it. There's some more things coming, but right now, these days that we know that garbage is gonna be picked up, they've been being picked up on that day, the trash days, and we're not gonna be running back from ward to ward trying to pick up trash. We're gonna just stick in one ward. I love that, because that's gonna take care of everybody. Everybody's gonna be treated the same. Everybody got a day. And I think that's gonna work for us.
I had one more thing I just wanted to, I didn't want to get deep into it because we're still in the process of doing it. Oh, go ahead, I'm sorry.
In addition to what has been presented today about the garbage and the trash, just wanted to reflect back on another cleanup that the city was involved in, and that's the inoperable vehicles and everything. Has that been abated, or is that still in the works, or?
Well, it's the law, so we have to do that on an operable vehicle, but to say it's the push, have it probably slacked up just a little bit? Yes. But I know when we went to it, it's a lot of vehicles got moved and that shouldn't have been there. And there may be a few more that's still out there that the police may or code enforcement may have to address. But the law is still intact, so you can't have an operable vehicle just sitting up in your lot, in your grass anywhere. If you know it, just contact this office and we'll get code enforcement out to make sure we address that issue. My last thing, and then if we'll take a few more questions before we get out of here. One of the parts about cleaning West Memphis, in West Memphis we have a lot of overgrown lots. A lot of overgrown lots. And I just want to give you something quick that we're working on. We brought it through Public Works, which Chairwoman Ms. Lorraine Robinson chairs, along with Councilman Pulliam, and Councilman Willis, and Councilman Mundy, and Councilman Willis. We all on there. Now, what we can really do is create a grass cutting department. Right now, we send people out, contractors out to cut grass all over the city, and we're still working out some of the kinks now. But next year, hopefully, we'll have our own department that will also assist in making sure that the lots within our community are cut and maintained. And we are in community development, we are creating a thing called a land bank, something that Councilman Pulliam talked about for years, that we get to take possession of these empty lots and we can start to develop new homes and housing. There's some of the things that Councilman Mundy done in the past, build new homes for the residents of our community to help revitalize certain areas in West Memphis, because I met with HUD, and one of the things we talked about was the Section 101. And what that is, I personally don't want to do a house on this street, a house on this street, house over there, because you don't see the impact. But when you take a whole street, just say for instance, South 19th, and all those houses are dilapidated, empty, and no one living there, you can take that whole block and you build 6 houses on one side, 6 houses on the other side, good looking house, you revitalize that whole community. Yeah, so that's something. Also, we applied for the planning grant, which is $1.3 million. I feel confident, because I believe in speaking those things into existence as if they were. We're going to get that, and once we get that, we'll be in line for that $30 million grant that revitalize South 22nd Street down to, is it Eastwood? Which all that trailer area, revitalize the whole community to help with revitalizing new single-family homes and places in that area. So it's a lot of things that we right here doing in the city, a lot of good ideas. We thinking outside the box, so just be looking out for it. Ain't gonna happen tomorrow, but it's already in the process. It's working.
In your grass cutting plans, does that include like the drainage dishes? Because right now, the dish behind my house
See, you know something, you be thinking like I be thinking, don't you? You know why you said too, right? So I mean, you saw that by your many days and seeing some of everything. What we did, we just had a meeting, about a week ago. Actually, right now we're hoping to receive a grant. And what we're trying to do is redo the bayous, which would cut all the grass down and would make it accessible for our equipment can get through there and cut it, and place a bike or walking trail through our bayous. So, you know, that's the icing on the cake, but the goal is to really get the bayous cut down. We can get equipment. Well, right now, they're so grown up right now, how much equipment can you get back there? Nothing. And then, you know, our little friends to woke up now, so they crawling everywhere, the snakes, so.
Mayor,
Right.
Mayor, a couple of years ago, I got Odell, and we had rollers back in there and everything. And Odell got behind there, and he got that thing cleaned up. I'm gonna get with him again. We've had a lot of rain. Y'all see how grass is growing. I'm gonna get with him again and see what he can do with that, cause it do get bad over there. It do get real. It grows over. It's overgrown now. I was over there a couple of days ago, and I'm gonna get him down there. Try to get him out tomorrow. See what can we do. See if we can cut it. Something. You know, sometimes you get the guys, they walk back in there with their weed eaters, and they can knock some of it down, because it's overgrown bad. And I'll see him tomorrow on that.
Also, excuse the inconvenience, you know, we got some streets that's being redone now. We getting ready to start the overlay program, so streets all over the city. Shady Grove is in that line as well. I know it's probably one of your questions, as well as other streets within the city as well. We getting ready to totally redo Barnes from Ingram to North 18th Street. So new sidewalks, new gutters, the whole 9 yards to help the plumbing, drainage issues over there as well. So that's where we're ready to go.
I talked to a local pastor here, and he's been talking about adopting a street. Church's business to adopt a street. And one of the streets that he's adopting is South 19th Street. Some of the things, because it's mostly an elderly community.
Okay.
And I think we should all at least think about adopting the street.
I agree.
Cut down on the crime.
Well, I tell you one thing. I know this to be true. There's no one that came to this office that we have turned down. So anybody that want to come out and take a street, what can we do to help you? We'll do everything we can to provide what you need if it's within reason to make sure that we're successful in the city, because I truly understand, and this council understand, we ain't gonna be able to change this city by itself. It's gonna take you all of doing that.
One last question. Everybody's hungry, I think.
Okay.
One last question for me. Mr. Mayor, is there still an ordinance on our books that stops vehicles from being on the street after a certain time? It used to be, I think, Ms. Dillon.
Yeah, it's still on there.
Is that ordinance still on the books?
Yes.
Is it very hard to enforce, or have we just let it go lax?
Well,
You raise sand, they'll do it.
let me do this. Because I don't want to say anything wrong. I just would rather give it to council, because they're the legislative body, they make that decision. Because if I know the law kind of stops at midnight, they can't be parked on the side of the street because of emergency vehicles, something to that effect. Don't hold me to that, but what about an emergency vehicle need to get there at 4 p.m. in the evening, and they're on the side, it's legal. So that law was created for a certain reason, yeah, and maybe need to be revisited.
But just like on Chatham Street, when you have vehicles parked on both sides of the road, driveways are empty.
Yeah.
They're parking on the side. One vehicle can maybe get by, but an emergency vehicle will have a problem, and two vehicles will have a
Is
problem.
that after midnight though, or that's during the day like we are now?
Well, both, sir.
And you know, right now it's legal now to do it.
Right.
But at midnight when we pretty much sleep, then that's
Right,
when
but
it
after
comes in.
midnight, if my house catches on fire, I want the fire department there.
Good point.
Thank you, sir.
In answer, partial answer to your question, you call the police and ask them to complain about that, what they're gonna tell you is you gotta call me after midnight. So if you call them after midnight, they will respond.
Now, we are the legislative body. Any ordinance or anything that needs to be changed or amended or overwritten, we have the authority to do that. We can make that ordinance read that no cars can be parked on the side of the road at any given point in time in the city of West Memphis, the city limits of West Memphis, Arkansas. We can change that ordinance. Just because it says after midnight does not necessarily mean that it's set in stone, because we have the authority to change it. And if the citizens' request is for us to do that, then that is most certainly no problem. We can get it written up, voted on, hopefully it'll pass and get it changed.
Mayor,
Councilman Willis and then Councilman Hope.
Let me just say, I want to refresh everybody's memory in here in case you hadn't done it, or encourage you to do something, is what I want to do. Go to Poncho's and ride down Broadway, and turn around, come back, and look both sides. And you can see where there's already been a change. I didn't even think about it till I was coming out of the restaurant the other day. And I looked and I thought, good night, all these cars are uniform. Everything has started straightening itself back up. You've got some apartments down in there, a little further on down the road, that are being demolished finally. So there is things that, you visually can go see right now, that even myself being a part of this body, I knew we were working on it, but I hadn't gone to look to see the end result until just then. And I was shocked that it looks kind of like West Memphis used to look when I first moved here in '69. And I'm a guy that's all for growing this city because I came from Jonesboro. And when we left Jonesboro, West Memphis was 4,000 people more than Jonesboro. And look where we are. And this city has all the potential in the world with everybody sitting in this room. Every one of us is a part of this. And if we all stick together, this thing could be huge in time to come. And I believe in it. I believe God's going to bless the town.
I want to say I noticed that same thing, what he said, just last week. The same, some kind of way, I don't know what y'all said to the businesses along Broadway, but for some reason, they kind of straightened up and pulled stuff back and
Cleaning up
and
there.
I noticed it just the other week, said it to my wife, so I agree with you, Councilman.
Pastor Chipman, let's favor. Good.
well, you're talking about the cars on the roads. One of the reasons we probably allowed that to happen is because when they built some of these roads, some of these homes, the homes here and the drives there, and they don't really have a place to park unless they park in their own drive or in their yard. We had that problem, so we kind of looked at that. So I think it's a lot of things we want to look at before we do all this changing on this parking on the side of the road. We're gonna look at it, but we need to do a lot of talking and making sure it's gonna be the right decision.
We're just talking about making it all day and night instead of just until 12 to 7 or 6. And that law was written years ago, back in the 40s.
Is there anything else? Can we get somebody want to dismiss us? James, that's your part. This is the part we all play.